Can you see the presentation? Hello? Can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I think today I think we'll try to work out question number 4. Then the other questions left we can work them out tomorrow. Okay. So question number 4 is quite interesting and it's a bit different from the other questions which we have looked at so far. So what does it say? It says the resultant of two forces, the resultant of two force vectors A and B has a magnitude of 150 newtons along the y-axis. So A and B, the resultant, if you add A plus B along the y-axis, A plus B has a size of 150 newtons. If the force vector B makes an angle of 60 degrees with the positive x-axis, vector B has makes an angle of 60 degrees with the positive x-axis, find the magnitude of B and the direction of A, given that the x component of A is equal to minus 60 newtons. Okay, so the x component of A is equal to minus 60 newtons. That's what we have there. So this is a bit tricky, but we have to work with the information we have. The first piece of information we have is that A plus B along the y-axis, that is equals to 150 newtons. Can you see that? A plus B along the y-axis, A plus B, that is AY plus BY, it is equals to 150 newtons. Do you agree? Here. These components, directions kind of like not correct a bit, but we're going to fix that. But here, A plus B along the y-axis is equals to 150 newtons. How much is A plus AX plus BX along the x-axis? At the moment, we do not know. At this particular moment, we do not know yet. There. Is it clear with the resultant? Hello? Are we clear with this? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, but why are you not responding? Why are you just quiet?
Sir, we are clear. We are just estimating.
It looks like you're just here to see what the answer looks like. You don't want to participate. Then how do you learn anything like that? Okay. Next is this bit. Vector B. Vector B. How do we get the components of B? How do we find Bx? What do we know about vector B? What do we know about vector B?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
From that statement, we're told that it makes an angle of 60 degrees with the positive x-axis.
Okay. Do we know the size of B? Do we know the size of B?
No, we don't.
Okay, so we do not know the size of B. So it's going to be B. The x component is going to be B what? B cos the 60 degrees it bends. That's what you're told. Then this side we are told it's also B sine 60 degrees. Okay, and how much that is, we do not know. Just a minute. So here, so we know that B makes an angle of 60 degrees. Oh, why is that showing like this? The mistake somewhere. Just a minute. Okay. So we know that B makes an angle of 60 degrees. We don't know the size of B, but we know it makes an angle of 60 degrees. So the x component of B is going to be equal to B cos 60 degrees. The y component of B is going to be by is equal to B sine 60 degrees, like that. Exactly how much that is, we do not know yet. Okay, we do not know yet, and that's what you're trying to find out. Next, what piece of information do we have? We are told find the magnitude of B and the direction of A, given that the x component of A is equals to minus 60 degrees. The x component of A is equals to minus 60 degrees. So the x component of A, whatever it is, that will be A cos theta minus 60 degrees. The other one is A sine theta, which is again unknown. Okay, so this is what we have. With the information we have, I think it would be safe to assume, here it says the resultant of two vectors, the resultant of two the resultant of two forces A and B has a magnitude of 150 newtons along the y-axis. So basically the resultant is along the y-axis. Okay? If the resultant is along the y-axis, then it is not along the x-axis. So there is nothing in this force, this resultant, which is along the x-axis. Everything is along the y-axis. Is that clear? If a vector lies along the y-axis, then that vector does not lie along the x-axis. Is that clear? Okay, so if the vector does not lie along the x-axis, how much is the resultant of the x component? If it only lies along the y-axis, how much is ax plus bx? If the vector a plus b lies along the y-axis, it has got a size of 150 newtons and it lies along the y-axis, then how much is ax plus bx?
Since it lies along the y-axis,
Yes.
plus bx should be equal to 0.
Yes, ax plus bx should be equals to 0, and that's the last piece of information we need to actually solve this problem. So this bit, which was question mark here, because it lies along the y-axis, a plus b lies along the y-axis, then ax plus bx has to be equals to 0. Is this clear? We know ax, we are told ax is minus 60 newtons. We do not know bx, but we know ax plus bx is equal to 0 newtons. We also know ay is a sine theta, like that. Then by is b sine theta, and we know ay plus by is equal to 150 newtons. Is this clear? Hello? Are we clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so now for us to find what you're looking for, we need to use the x components. Okay, we need to do this because we know the ax. We know ax is minus 60 newtons, but you're looking for by, right? So if you put this minus 50 newtons here, ax, you put it there to be ax plus by, which is going to be minus 60 newtons plus by is equals to 0 newtons. Okay, I'll write that somewhere so we can see that. So say considering only the x components, we get the following. We have ax plus bx is equals to 0 newtons. That is what the resultant is. here. Can you see this? Can you see what I've highlighted at the bottom there?
Yes.
Okay, now we substitute in place of AX. We have the AX from the table. AX is how much? How much is AX?
Negative 6 newtons.
Yes. So we substitute. Just a minute. We substitute for AX equals to negative 60 newtons. We get, so in place of AX, we put in a negative 60 there. Like this. Okay? So in place of AX, we put in negative 60. So when you do that, then we work out for B. So we get BX. How much is BX?
Newtons.
Yes, you get BX at 60 newtons. There. So we get BX at 60 newtons. The other thing you have to remember that is that from the table, BX is equals to B cos 60. Do you see that? Do you see that? BX is equals to B cos 60. Can you see that? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, and we have just found BX. We have found BX to be equals to minus 60. But we know from the table that this minus 60, sorry, BX to be 60 newtons, but this 60 newtons is also equals to B cos 60. So we write, see, recall that BX X is also given as so BX is equals to B cos like that. Which is also equals to that. Can we see? Do you agree with this? This BX, which is equals to 60 newtons. Then from the table, B cos 60 is also equals to 60 newtons, like this. Do we agree with this?
Yes.
Okay, therefore we got the following. We get this. Okay. We get this. So making B the subject, we get, if we make B the subject, what do we get? B will be equals how much? If we make B the subject,
120.
no. How much is, like, how do we do that? How do you make B the subject? Before you get the number?
60 Newton divided cos 60.
60 newtons divided by cos 60. Like that. And how much does that give us? Okay, so we get 120. All right. Yeah, so we get B to be equals to 120. This is good because now we can work out, now that we know B, we can work out BX. So you can work out BY, okay, right? Because now that we know B is equals to 120, you can find BY, because BY is equals to B sine 60, okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so now that we know the magnitude of B just a minute. Magnitude of B. We can proceed to find BY as follows. So BY B sine 60 someone needs to be admitted. Like that. So that will be just a minute. So we would have 120. We know that B is 120. So that will be that 120. So how much will be our BY?
Newtons.
60 newtons? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, sine 60. No.
Huh? How much? How much is how much will be BY?
Is it sine 60 or cos 60?
Sine.
103.9.
How much?
103.9.
103. 103.9. Basically, that is 104.
Yes.
Can someone confirm that? Can someone else confirm what have been given?
Yes.
Okay. So we have found a couple of things. We have found bx to be 60 newtons. We found the magnitude of B to be 120 newtons. Then we proceeded to go and find By, which is equals to 104. Okay. Now the reason why we need to find By is because if we look at By, there's this part here. Ay plus By is equals to 150. So if you put the By there, we are going to be able to find Ay. Okay? If we put the By there, we're going to find Ay. Can you see that? Ay plus By is equals 150. So if you put the By you have found there, then you should be able to find Ay. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what we're going to do. From the table of components, we know that Ay plus By is equals to 150 newtons. That's what we know from the table. Here, then Ay plus By is equals to 150 newtons. So we substitute for By. So substituting for By, y, which is equals to 104, approximately equals to 104. We get that. Okay, so we have Ay plus 104 newtons is equals to 150. So with that expression, we get Ay as follows. So Ay is going to be equals to, how do we get Ay? How do we get Ay? How are we going to find Ay?
We subtract both sides by 104.
Okay, so basically that will be,
Or we add both sides negative 104.
like that. So how much is that? How much we get for Ay?
46 newtons.
46 newtons. Then So AY is equals to 46 newtons. It's positive. That is along the positive y-axis. Then AX from the table is how much? This one here. AX is, how much is that?
Negative 60.
Negative 60, yes. So if you go back and look at what the question is telling us, they're saying, find the magnitude of B. Find the magnitude of B. We have already done this, right? B we have found to be this one here, 120 newtons. That's magnitude of B. Okay. Then they asked us to find the direction of A. So we need to find the angle A makes with the positive x-axis. Okay. So, okay, so the magnitude, I'll just type something a bit. Magnitude of is wonderful. So we are looking for the angle vector A makes. But for us to find the angle vector A makes properly, we actually need to look at where the components are. Okay? So, for vector A, so the x component of A, which is the AX, basically AX, that is the X component, which is that. Hello, whoever is watching that movie, can you please switch off your microphone? Which is that. So here this way, yeah. So for vector A, just a minute. Math BF. The X component of that. So the X component of vector A, that is not, it's negative, lies along the negative x-axis. And the y component, which is in this case AY, which as we have found to be 46 newtons, is positive, lies along the positive y-axis. Therefore, vector A lies in the second quadrant of XY plane. Is this clear? Gift Mbewe, can you switch off your microphone? Can you switch off your microphone? Is this clear? So when we look at vector A, the x component of vector A is negative 60 newtons, which means that that component lies along the negative x-axis. The y component of vector A is plus 40 newtons, meaning that that component lies along the positive x-axis. Therefore, vector A is in the second quadrant of the xy plane. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Since vector A lies in second quadrant, since vector A lies in the second quadrant of the xy plane, we can measure its angle from the positive x-axis as theta, or the negative x-axis as phi. That is the other statement clear? This one, that you can measure the angle vector A makes from the positive x-axis or from the negative x-axis. If you measure from the positive x-axis, you're measuring theta. If you measure from the negative x-axis, you're measuring phi. Okay? Is that clear? These two angles, theta and phi, are related as follows. Is what I'm saying clear on the directions?
Yes.
Okay. And the relationship between theta and phi in the second quadrant is the following. That is the relationship between theta and phi, how theta is related to phi. So our phi is supposed to be, when you're in the second quadrant, your phi is a negative angle, and that's what we need to work out. We need to work out the phi. Okay. So we calculate phi from the components. So we calculate the angle phi as follows. Phi is equals to AY, the y component of A, divided by x component of A. Like that. Do we agree? Oh, sorry. Tan. It's supposed to be tan. So tan phi. Like that. Tan phi equals to that. Are we in agreement there? How much is AY? I need AY to find the angle. How much is AY? How much is AY?
AY is 46 newtons.
46 newtons. Then how much is AX?
x is negative 60 newtons.
Negative 60 newtons. So how much do I get for that? 46 newtons divided by negative 60 newtons. How much is that? How much you get? It's negative.
Negative 0.77.
Negative 0.77. Okay, so next we find the angle phi. So we get the angle. Phi as tan inverse of negative 0.77. How much is that? Phi is equal to tan inverse of negative 0.77. How much is that? It's negative
37.5.
37.5 degrees. Okay, next bit now we look at theta. Okay. We get next we get theta as from this. Now that we know our phi, so we can work out our theta now. How much is that? 180 degrees plus minus 37.5 degrees.
$142.5.
142.5 degrees. There. So therefore, we conclude vector A makes angle of an angle theta is equals to 142.5 from positive x-axis in an anti-clockwise anti-clockwise direction. Are we clear? Are we clear about what we have done?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so if you're clear about what you've done, and so since it's a holiday, I won't spend so much time trying to re-explain it. You can watch the video, which I'm going to explain to Moodle, and I'm also right now going to upload the solution to question number 4 to your Moodle so that you can have access to it. Is that clear? You can find it on Moodle. So I'm going to upload it, the solution and the video right now, so that before I leave this place, you can rewatch the video and see exactly what we have done. Okay, so unless people have got questions, we are going to stop here. Tomorrow we are meeting in the morning, I think at 9 up to 11:30. So tomorrow, since we have done 4 questions so far, I think we could probably work out 2 other questions so that we try to finish up whatever is left in this tutorial sheet so that we can move forward. Okay, so see you tomorrow.